After multi-day talks in the United States between delegations from Armenia and Azerbaijan with the mediation of US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the two countries' foreign ministries released identical statements, noting that their positions on a number of key issues remain distant. At the same time, the Armenian Foreign Ministry's statement noted that there was some progress on reaching consensus on some articles of a draft bilateral document on normalizing relations. In a live broadcast from the State Department on the final day of talks, Blinken stated that the parties had made tangible progress on reaching an agreement. "We are close to reaching an agreement. It is within reach, but the last mile of a marathon is always the hardest," Blinken stated. They will continue to have the full support and engagement of the US in their efforts to ensure a lasting and sustainable peace, Secretary Blinken added, according to a State Department readout. As news about the Washington talks continue to dominate the headlines, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan announced during a visit to Prague yesterday that he will travel to Moscow next week. Pashinyan did not give any more detail about the agenda of his visit or what meetings he will have in Russia. Today in Moscow, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that plans for a meeting between Pashinyan and Russian President Vladimir Putin are under discussion, but did not confirm that such talks would take place. And Armenian Parliamentary Speaker Alen Simonyan discussed Turkey's move to close its airspace to Armenian airliners at a meeting yesterday with his Turkish counterpart in Ankara. Simonyan was in the Turkish capital for a summit of Black Sea countries. Earlier this week, Turkey closed its airspace to Armenian airliners in response to the unveiling of a monument in Yerevan commemorating the participants of Operation Nemesis. Operation Nemesis was a program by Armenian clandestine groups in the 1920s to assassinate the Ottoman Turkish perpetrators of the Armenian genocide. Simonyan said during the meeting that he had hoped the monument to Operation Nemesis wouldn't be perceived as an unfriendly gesture in Turkey, but added that he had also hoped the meeting with Mustafa Şentop, the Turkish parliamentary speaker, would contribute to solving the problem. In turn, Şentop stated that the Operation Nemesis monument is a painful issue for Turkey, but added that he believes that Turkey will still seek to normalize relations with Armenia. And finally, Nagorno-Karabakh's Sarsang reservoir, its largest, has almost dried up due to hydropower overuse prompted by Azerbaijan's ongoing blockade of the Lachin corridor. The Sarsang reservoir has released an unprecedented amount of water to generate electricity for the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, who have seen their power supply severely disrupted since last December, when the blockade began. For 3 months, Nagorno-Karabakh has been left to rely solely on internal energy resources, in particular the hydroelectric power station built on the Sarsang reservoir. It was hoped that spring rains would raise the reservoir level, but rainfall levels have been unusually low this year. In order to save energy, Nagorno-Karabakh has been experiencing regular power outages since January. Azerbaijani farmers are also set to suffer from the situation, as water from the reservoir that heads downstream is used for irrigation in several regions of Azerbaijan.